Why is Indonesia moving its capital? Indonesia joins a small number of countries that have decided to move their capital to the jungle. It was inspired by Brazil, which had previously undertaken a similar project and moved its capital to the city of Brasilia. The new Indonesian capital, called Nusantara, will occupy an area of about 56,000 hectares in the province of East Kalimantan in the Indonesian part of Borneo. This area is shared with Malaysia and Brunei, and the total area earmarked for the project is an impressive 256,000 hectares, with additional land earmarked for possible future expansion. Initiated by President Joko Widodo, the new capital project has huge economic potential, with an estimated cost of $32 billion. The new National Capital Law provides the legal framework for this ambitious megaproject and sets out how it will be financed and managed. Within 5 years, the Indonesian government wants to move 1 million civil servants there. The first Nusantara residents are expected to move in next year. The official inauguration of the capital is scheduled for 17 August 2024. In the long term, the city is expected to become a metropolis with a population of up to tens of millions. The first non-official residents will come from Borneo itself, which is currently home to 15 million people. They are enthusiastic about the improved living conditions, especially in terms of finding good jobs, especially in the construction sector. At present, the region is developing very slowly, and the distance of 200 kilometers from Jakarta makes development difficult. The new Indonesian capital will be a smart city in the middle of the forest, a model of sustainable development. Innovative architectural designs are expected to solve the problems of pollution, smog, overcrowding, and traffic congestion. Ultimately, it will become an economic engine that contributes to the country's long-term development. Why did the Indonesian government decide to move the capital? The relocation of the Indonesian capital to the newly planned city of Nusantara is not just the result of a momentary impulse or political decision, but a comprehensive response to a number of difficulties facing the current capital, Jakarta. This strategic move by the country's authorities aims not only to decongest the metropolis, but also to create a smart city with sustainable development that addresses the problems of pollution, traffic congestion, and the risk of natural disasters. Today, Jakarta is one of the most densely populated cities in the world, with a population of nearly 30 million and a projected increase of another 10 million over the next 2 decades. This has led to chronic problems such as congestion, smog, traffic chaos, and a poor quality of life for residents. As the population grows, the city loses capacity, especially in public transport, which in turn creates further complications. TomTom data shows that Jakarta is the 3rd most congested city in the world, adding to residents' frustration and impacting on their quality of life. But traffic is only part of the problem. Built by Dutch colonialists, the city is not only struggling to provide an efficient infrastructure for its current population, but also faces the prospect of problems arising from further development. Numerous environmental crises and natural disasters are a fact of life in Jakarta. Just look at the air quality rankings, where the city tops the list for pollution, with traffic accounting for 70% of emissions. This pollution affects the health of residents and threatens the long-term well-being of the community. In addition, Jakarta is a place where natural phenomena such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and climate change pose real risks. The safety of the capital is therefore a key concern, especially in the context of predictions of rising sea levels threatening the city's coastal areas. In the face of these challenges, moving the capital to Nusantara seems like a sensible move. The new city is not only a response to Jakarta's current problems, but also a prudent plan for the future. The investment in Nusantara is not just about moving the administration. It is also an attempt to create a modern, smart city that avoids the urban planning mistakes of the past. Air and traffic problems are only part of Jakarta's challenges. Built on swampy land without proper planning and growing out of control, the city now faces the prospect of becoming the fastest sinking city in the world. The tropical climate, the presence of 13 rivers and concrete roads with no drainage infrastructure, are causing Jakarta's coastal areas to gradually collapse at a rate of up to 25 centimeters per year. This inevitable land erosion poses serious problems for the city, particularly in terms of the risk of increasingly frequent flooding. Significantly, these floods, especially in the slums, are already turning into a permanent layer of water on the ground, creating dramatic living conditions for residents. But the problem does not stop there. The situation is also creating huge problems with access to clean water and sanitation, exacerbating the difficulties of daily life for the urban population. In light of these worrying trends, scientists estimate that by 2050, as much as 95% of Jakarta's current area could be at risk of flooding. Faced with this alarming scenario, the authorities are planning to build a huge system of dams, but this will require a massive investment of $40 billion. At present, however, it is uncertain if and when this ambitious project can be realized. This threat to the city's survival highlights the urgent need for remedial action, especially given the gradual rise in the world's oceans and ongoing infrastructure problems. Moving the capital to a new site, Nusantara, could be not only an administrative solution, but also a strategic investment in the country's secure future, while avoiding the environmental disaster that the inevitable sinking of the coastal areas of the current Indonesian capital will bring. In the long term, Nusantara has the potential to become an economic engine, providing new prospects for development and a better quality of life for local people. By establishing the legal framework for this ambitious megaproject, the Indonesian authorities are signaling that the relocation of the capital is not just an administrative act, but a strategic investment in the country's future. The opening of Nusantara in 2024 can therefore symbolize not only a new seat of government, but also a new stage of development for Indonesia in the 21st century. Criticism of the idea of moving the capital to the jungle. The decision to move the Indonesian capital to the Palangkaraya jungle area has provoked a wave of criticism from various quarters. Critics say that a law on the matter has been rushed through, with limited public consultation and environmental impact assessments. There are fears that such a decision could contribute to the destruction of ecosystems in an area where mining and palm oil plantations already pose a serious threat to the rainforests that are home to Borneo's endangered species. Parallels are also being drawn with the case of Tokyo in the 1960s, where the Japanese government decided to repair the city rather than abandon it. Some experts point out that moving the capital may be the easiest and worst option, stressing the need to fix existing problems rather than run away from them. But despite these concerns, supporters of the plan point to existing social inequalities in the country, particularly between the island of Java and other regions. Moving the capital out of Java could help redress these inequalities and speed up the development of Kalimantan, the Indonesian part of Borneo. But doubts remain about the real benefits in the context of environmental and social chaos. A key issue of great concern to environmentalists is the location of the proposed capital in Borneo, an area known for its wildlife. Its tropical forests are home to many endangered species, such as the orangutan. Concerns about deforestation, water pollution, and threats to the lives of thousands of plant and animal species call into question the sustainability of this project. Another threat to Borneo is uncontrolled mining, which could lead to forest loss, threaten access to fresh drinking water, and increase the risk of droughts and fires. Environmentalists warn that the construction of a new capital city, if not carefully considered, could be disastrous for the island's already fragile ecosystem. The cost of environmental destruction, estimated at $33 billion for the construction of the capital alone, could be incalculable and leave a lasting mark on Borneo's natural environment. With all these concerns, it is imperative that this ambitious project is approached in a detailed and responsible manner, taking into account both social and environmental aspects, in order to avoid irreversible damage to the island's environment and life. Thank you for watching the video. Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. See you next video.